morning, everyone. I'm sorry I could not attend the meeting this morning. My name is Stormie Johanson, the daughter of Brian and Teresa Johanson. I'm a senior at North Central Kossuth High School in Swea City. All of my life I have lived on a farm, not truly knowing what rural electric was all about. All I knew was when I flipped on a switch and the lights didn't come on, I yelled for my dad since he is a lineman. I was reassured every time by my father that we would be the first back on when he got to work. That always relieved me. How could a high school girl live her day without electricity? I first heard about the youth tour through my local cooperative member newsletter. I had never been to Washington, D.C. before, and it sounded like an excellent opportunity to try for, although I was a little skeptical if it was actually going to be as fun as it sounded. I applied and was chosen to go on youth tour with 2 other high school students from Iowa Lakes Electric Cooperative and 30 other students from across rural Iowa. It was a blast. I made friends with my touring group very fast as we traveled all over Washington, D.C. We got the privilege to experience a world different from our own and see many amazing historical sites. When I think about youth tour now, many fond memories come to mind. When I stood below Abraham Lincoln with his sharp marble eyes keeping watch over the land, I thought about how one person can change the world forever. With acts of courage and self-determination, anything is possible. Just look at how far the National Rural Electric Cooperatives have come today. From dark to light, the beginning of rural electrification gave hope to many people. I became speechless when looking at the thousands of names along the black wall of the Vietnam Veterans Memorial. All of the people who passed away and gave up their futures to defend us amazed me. It also made me realize we, as teenagers, are the future leaders of this country. With being future leaders, it is important to have positive influences. Without the graciousness of Iowa Lakes Electric Cooperative, the Iowa Association of Electric Cooperatives, and NRECA to sponsor my Washington, D.C. trip, my influence and knowledge would not have expanded into my life the way it has today. Being selected to experience an eye-opening adventure was the opportunity of a lifetime. It not only gave me, but all of my fellow youth tour friends a stronger understanding of how important rural electric cooperatives are in our lives and how important we are as young leaders to strengthen it among our communities. On my second trip to Washington, D.C., and my trip to San Diego, California, as Iowa's youth delegate for the Youth Leadership Council, I became a part of a national family. I was amazed by how all of the different teens from across the U.S. could come together and express how passionate they were about being leaders. Of course, though, I did get asked some interesting questions, like, do you drive tractors to school? Or, do you always talk like that? You say your words funny. But my favorite question of all was, where is Iowa? Although some were clueless about the great people of Iowa, I couldn't have met any more amazing teenagers if I tried. The best part about my past 2 trips was being able to be with strong leaders and learn with each other about what makes cooperatives work so well. Being able to see the work put behind a cooperative, such as funding and being member-owned, was very encouraging. Also, just being able to represent the state of Iowa in Washington, D.C. and San Diego was a very high honor. Being able to go on youth tour and being on Youth Leadership Council has been an amazing experience for me. I was able to see my nation's capital while making lifelong friends. The youth tour program is well worth funding. Every student that went on youth tour has a better understanding of why rural electrification was so important and how it is important today. And the great part about it all, we got to have fun. Even just interacting with other students from around the U.S. and seeing the diversity among teens was a lesson of its own. I would like to thank everyone who made the 2011 youth tour possible. Your organization and preparation were appreciated by all the youth tour participants. I would also like to extend a huge thank you to Iowa Lakes Electric Cooperative for giving me the opportunity to partake in the 2011 Youth Tour. It has meant the world to me. As Franklin Delano Roosevelt once said, "We cannot always build the future for our children, but we can build our children for the future." Inspirational trips just like these have done just that. My eyes have been opened to see what my generation can do for the future. Thank you.